I mean, you say you are inheriting an economy that is bankrupt. So are you not just swindling us to give you the power because then there won't be money to do the things that you are talking about?
Not at all, not at all. Look, in the midst of our economic crisis, this government could spend, not too long ago, I have here the Black Stars expenditure. They were able to budget $8.5 million. They spent $3 million for 3 matches. So an average of $1 million per match. This same economy. We are saying we'll put it into the productive sector. Qualifiers, Ghana versus Angola, 7.4 million. So it's not like there's no money in this country. Ghana versus Madagascar, 8.3 million. Ghana versus Central African Republic, cost us 3.4 million. Airlifting Black Stars from Qatar, just 2022, a few months ago, 5.3 million.
Are we going to starve,
Funds released for payment of coaches' salary for just April to June, 3.37 million.
Well,
Ghana
are we then
cedis.
saying we are going to starve our national teams from engaging in some of these
We will not
sports?
engage in, other countries are spending, if the same tournament, countries who did far better than us. Namibia, they did better than us. They went with a $1.1 million budget. Zambia went with a $2.1 million budget. Nigeria went to the finals, not with the kind of monies that their government, in terms of taxpayer contribution, was just $1.3 million. So this cannot continue. And yet, with all of these hundreds of millions of Ghana cedis, we don't even have one FIFA standard pitch in this country. Not one. We don't even have a sports policy. So we are saying that, look, we can cut down the wastage. We are not going to spend 339 million Ghana cedis to dig a hole. $58 million to dig a hole in the name of the president's cathedral. We are not going to be budgeting 1.3 billion and we spend 13 billion with no value for money. Road projects which are 3 times,
is it not
three times the value.
So again, I don't mean to equalize, but is it not the same party that spent $3 million in bonuses for the Black Stars also? In Brazil, you remember the World Cup? We flew that amount and it became quite a scandal for the Mahama administration. And so the wastage is not an Akufo-Addo administration problem alone. We've seen it also under the...
in Brazil,
yes.
Here, this $3 million, it doesn't include bonus because we didn't win a single match. Let's not compare oranges and mangoes. We didn't win a single match. So imagine if we were winning matches and we had to pay bonuses. Clearly, the $8.5 million would not even have been enough. In Brazil, we were winning matches, and players had held the sports minister to ransom, said they won't play the next match. And so money had to be sent. They said they won't accept any wires into accounts. They want to see cash. What did President Mahama do after that? He set up a commission of inquiry. The sports minister at the time was removed. Here, we have the sports minister who is at post and being asked to go and oversee the Africa Games. And in the next few days, I'll be publishing the next scandal, already starting from the Africa Games.
Idea what is in there?
You will be shocked to see some of the figures, what they intend to do and what they have done already. Just stand by for that. I mean, it's incredible. So we are saying that incorruptible leadership. I don't think that this country really, because if you look around us, I mean, Ivory Coast, Benin, they have got their bonds are being oversubscribed. They have not been shut out of the international financial market. I mean, they are not doing financial haircuts. They are not seeking bailouts. So with the right leadership, you can save money to invest in the productive sectors of your economy. And that's what we are going to do.
I see. So, I mean, what I want you to address is, because the issue transcends government, I mean, one may be bigger than the other. We need to find a solution to the problem. Have you identified what a problem could be with the sports ministry and the Black Stars, and how can we deal with it?
Clearly, what I see is that you're given a blank check. I mean, they come up with a budget that's treated as nuclear code. As a member of parliament, I cannot be told what the funds are, what has been budgeted for, and they even have the effrontery, the audacity to engage in such illegal conduct, to put together a budget and go and spend. They tell us that when they return, that's when they will count. When ab initio, at the first instance, you need approval from Parliament. That's what our Constitution says. You cannot just come up with a budget, dip your hands in public funds without Parliament's approval. It's unconstitutional. And that's what is going on. So look, we need to put in place a new regime of transparency and accountability, respect for our Constitution, respect for our Public Financial Management Act, and have sports ministers who will respect the laws and who will not allow the GFA to hold them to ransom. And as we said in Parliament, look, the far-reaching reforms we must carry out, even if it will attract a ban, let FIFA ban us. There are some countries who were banned and they are doing far better now. Look, we cannot treat the GFA like a fetish, and you can't touch it, you can't talk about them. And that's why I salute sports journalists who led a demonstration recently, a very successful one, very impactful one. We have received their petition, and Parliament is going to launch an inquiry into all of these, just dissipation of resources, and we are not seeing value for money.
I see.
That cannot continue. So, look, it all comes back to just leadership. Do we have a leader who genuinely loves the country? A leader who wants to leave a legacy? A leader who will pursue the national interest, who will be patriotic, who will not just, embark on just fantasy ideas? You don't have you don't have hospitals, you don't have good roads, and you say you want to build a manger for. Has Jesus Christ told you that it's going to be reborn?
Where is the NDC campaign?
Where in Christian doctrine? Where? Anybody should show me a scripture in Christian doctrine where Jesus Christ is supposed to be reborn and will come and stay in a manger in Africa. Where? What do these people take us for?
Where's the NDC campaign team? Why is this taking so long for the NDC to announce its own campaign team? Are you preparing for the election seriously at all?
You don't see us campaigning? You don't see the flag bearer all over the country? The
flag bearer is, but he's going to need a team. Where is his team?
We work. Did you see him alone? As President Mama told you that he's so lonely. When he goes around the country, is he alone?
Your competitor has launched his campaign team ready for battle. Where is yours?
Very revealing campaign team. Now we know the people at the National Cathedral, what exactly was going on there. Look, we are not going to be following other people's strategies. We have our own strategy. We will do what we must do according to our strategy. If you have observed, the flag bearer made it a conscious effort to travel the length and breadth of this country, to listen to the people.
Right.
He is on a listening tour, which is also feeding into an organic manifesto that will not be utopian, that will not be a pie in the sky, that will be the felt needs, it will be responding to the felt needs of our people. So we have our own strategy. At this point, it is about being close to the people, listening to them, empathizing with them, letting them know that, look, we have a party that is a listening one, a leader who cares about us, who is in the trenches with us. It's not all about just being at the top and, creating campaign teams and all kinds of structures that are not on the ground. And having said that, I am also not aware that the NDC does not have party executives from the national, regional, constituency, all the way to the branch level. And what is the job of party executives? Your permanent job is to campaign for the party.
I'm not sure if that is a fair response to the question, because those executives have always existed.
It's very fair.
But you've had a campaign team on the side.
Which is launched at the right time.
It's taken a little too long this time, isn't it?
It is not at all.
I see.
Check 4 years ago. It's not. This is not at all.
Fair,
I mean, that
enough.
just comes in
fair enough.
when really the campaign is launched.
I mean, you were campaign communications.
We haven't launched
2008 for
the campaign. Yes.
What kind of people do you expect to be in your campaign team? We've seen those who went for 2008, 2012, 2016 that failed, 2020 that failed, 2024. What will be the winning campaign team for you?
I'm not big on campaign teams. I don't think that's what really matters to the Ghanaian people. I'm rather big on manifesto, the vision for our country. We are in a quagmire. Who cares about campaign teams?
I mean, not for the Ghanaian people.
We should be thinking about...
But for the strategy to win the election.
We should be thinking about how we are going to pull Ghanaians out of the doldrums. That's what... Look... Until you win the elections, you cannot do that. What engages us? Look, we don't spare a thought over the NDC is replete with experts on campaigns. We're the most successful political party in this country. Most successful. I mean, it's not, you're not talking to a party that probably struggles to win elections. So
we've also seen your flag bearer shift
don't
dates when it comes to who would be his running mate.
I challenge you on that.
First he said February, and then now I've heard March.
The flag bearer, what matters really? You need to distinguish between the choice and when the choice is announced. I am clear in my mind that knowing President Mahama, the experience he has, the track record he has, I'm clear. Then I see all the signs. He knows who he wants. He has his choice. He made his mind long ago.
Okay. What signs do you see?
So it is just about when that choice will be announced.
Fantastic. What signs do you see? What are the signs that you see that, gives you the impression that the choice has already been made?
Lead me not into temptation.
One thing that has trailed the NDC, in fact, the Mahama administration was admired for bringing young people aboard its time in office. But at the same time, there were a lot of criticism that had begun from the Mills's era up until, the Mahama administration. You recall the term babies with sharp teeth. Are the babies with sharp teeth returning with Mahama? Should he get the nod?
Again, I mean, I would be very presumptuous and totally really out of order to begin to pick the incoming president's nominees. I'm sure that the president will make his choices. But look, let's see how beautiful the NDC has proven. And to be fair to the NDC's traditions, it's not new. It starts with President Mahama, right from the PNDC era. Look at the likes of Uncle Totobi Kwache, Uncle Kwame Nahoy, Uncle Atua Hoy. These are young, sharp folks, dedicated all their energies. The likes of, Kwame Pepra and all of that. These are very young people, who served this country very well. I mean, Kwesi Boche, when he first came in, so we've had a rich tradition of young people given the opportunity. You see, what I like about the NDC is that we don't say that, no, it should be just, a gathering of old fossils.
Right.
But it's always a blend so that you have the experienced hands, but you also have young people who have the energy, the dynamism, the freshness, modern perspectives, and all of that is brought to bear. So I would not be surprised to see this long-standing tradition continue, where you have, and see, even in Parliament today, who are those holding the fort? Imagine Professor Mills didn't take a risk, didn't take a bet on me, on the likes of the Honorable Atuforce and the Honorable John Jenapo, out of Parliament. Dr. Mane Buama, who is election director today, Felix Ofosu Kwache, the Honorable Joyce Bawa, and all the others who are
these names you have mentioned were those who were referred to as the babies who were sharp teeth by the founder of the party.
The founder didn't mention specific names. Again, this is propaganda. people decided to just, select whoever they probably want to fit in that description. But to be fair to the founder, he didn't mention any specific name. He didn't mention any name. And you look, I mean, we all know that founder was very colorful. He had a way with words and, all kinds of terminologies and jargons. At the end of the day, I think that what really matters is that...
The point he was making then...
What really matters is that those people who...
Which included you...
Okay, let me allow you.
Absolutely, thank you. These babies with sharp teeth, which included you.
How do you know it included me? Did you interview President Rawlings after his speech?
Widely, because you were one of those who spoke, a lot for the government, and his point was that you went after anybody who criticized the administration of the time. Do you have any regrets with that?
So my job, don't forget, as Deputy Minister for Information, was to fiercely and convincingly defend the track record of the Mills Mahama administration. That was my job. Those were my marching orders, and that's why I was engaged to be a spokesperson. When you're a spokesperson and you are convinced about how well Professor Mills is, how a blessing he is to our country, and God bless his soul, such a great man, a mentor I would always be proud of. He was not guilty of the accusations that were being leveled against him. And I had to defend his track record, as all ministers of information, deputy ministers of information do. So I have no regrets at all. I mean, for defending such a good man, I wish I even did more. I wish I was even more out there, particularly if I even had the slightest idea that he will not be with us for that long. He will be such a great man. I think that's why I named my son after him. I'm always in awe. He's so squeaky clean. Look, I suffered a lot of baseless attacks. I mean, you remember them saying I own filling stations all over.
Indeed.
I don't own one. I'm not a businessman.